What's up, guys? Like widescreen, do you think?
It does a bit.
It looks a bit like telescopish.
Panoramic.
Yeah. It is a little bit, isn't it? We'll have to take a look at that. How's it going, guys? Happy Wednesday and happy November, the month of Thanksgiving. And it's really funny actually, because yesterday obviously was Halloween, and I said to Cam, "Do you know what day it is?" He said, "Tuesday." And I was like, "Yeah, but do you know what day it is?" He's like, "Halloween." And I'm like, "Yeah, but do you know what that means?" He's like, "What?" And I said, "It's the day that everyone gives up on their weight loss, because as soon as, actually it's probably this weekend just gone, because as soon as Halloween comes, everyone binges on shit, everyone goes out getting drunk, everyone goes over the top, and then they're like, it's practically Christmas now. I may as well start in January." Isn't it?
Pretty much. As soon as it becomes officially Christmas time, they're like, "I can't diet. No point. I'm going to start in January." Sometimes if you actually did start in January, you could make progress. But a lot of the times we say things in the moment because it sounds like an awesome idea.
I think, honestly, I think
And
it's
it
an
just never
excuse.
happens.
I think it's an excuse. I don't think people actually mean that they'll start in January. They're just using it as an excuse of, "Oh, I'll allow myself to eat shit for the next 60 days," or whatever it is, 64 days. And then I will, and then I will maybe start. Maybe I'll start. And in that time, in those like 60 days, you've probably gained 2 stone, 14 pounds. No, 28 pounds. There we go. My conversion's not very good. So the average, I'm pretty sure it's American, adds around 7 pounds on each Christmas. And then they don't lose it. They lose like 5 pounds. So they've still got the 2 pounds. And then in January, they don't get those extra 2 pounds. And then next Christmas, there's another 7. They drop 4. So every year they're adding like 2 to 3 pounds on top of what they started at. And this will quickly add up, right? So I know, as a lot of our clients and audience, you guys are like in your 30s, 40s and beyond. Some of you are young'uns, but the rest of us, it does get so difficult over time. And we know, like, if we, in the last 10 years, we've probably added on an extra 20 pounds. So, that's if you have 2 pounds, and that's not including your birthday weight, the summer weight, the vacation weight, and all that. So just by adding on 2 pounds a year, in the last 10 years, we've added 20 pounds, which is a lot. But the funny thing is, I'm just going on a tangent here. This is not what we're supposed to be talking about, but I'm going. So people are like, "I want to lose 20 pounds in like 4 weeks." I'm like, well, it's not really reasonable to ask that, but they do anyway. But then they're not willing to put in 4 months or 6 months of hard work, or not even hard work, just work. They're not willing to wait 6 months for that 20 pounds, even though it's taken them 10 years to gain. Usually it's 10 weeks, and let's be honest. But they want it like that. Wild. Right. So I got to apologize in advance, guys. I am sick. So I'm trying to catch my breath. Got a bit of a cough, throat to me, all of this kind of stuff. So I've got to apologize in advance that this is not going to be a fun listen. So hey Bushra, hey Sam, Nicole, currently weight training, but listen well, that's cool. Grace, Rachel Harvey says the supermarkets are full of Christmas stuff as of last night. Yeah, of course, because Halloween's done now. So many mince pies and chocolates, not even bonfire night yet. Exactly. Hey Jenna, hey Emma, how is it going, everybody? So obviously we've got our client live, our client Zoom, a client call in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I'll be dropping the link in. So once again, apologies, I am catching my breath. I'm a bit huffy. I'm not fed up. I'm just trying to catch my breath, Hi, Marit. Oh, lovely to see everybody.
Marit's got a new job.
Has she?
I think she starts in 2024.
Wonderful. Wunderbar. I don't know. I actually know where it is in Dutch, but well done. Nice one. So today we are going to answer or talk about a couple of the Myths. Also, my brain isn't working, guys. So apologies. My brain is like a little bit over the place for a minute. We're going to talk about some myths or like bad advice, the worst advice that we have been told, excuse me, in fitness. So Cam's going to pull them up. If you've got any, I want to hear them in the comments. Bring them up. Let's discuss. And they don't have to be things that you listen to, or they could be things that you listen to, because we've all done it. I hold my hands up. I've definitely done some stupid shit because of the fitness myths or lies that I was sold or told in the past. So, do you want to get started?
Shall do. So one of them, I think you do always hear a lot. Don't eat after 6 p.m. It will make you put on weight.
It will. This is true. If you overeat your calories every day and it happens to be after 6 o'clock or before 6 o'clock. So if you overeat, you'll gain weight. Doesn't matter what time you eat, right? But I think this comes from, let's say I was intermittent fasting, because lots of people do that, don't they? They're like, oh, if I fast, I'll be lighter. Okay, so my fasting period is, or my eating period, my eating window is 12 till 6, let's say, right? 12 till 6, so I've got my 6-hour eating period. Well, when I weigh the next day at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., that's been like a 13 or 14 hour of no eating. So there's no food in my gut. It's pretty much like cycled through. There's no bulk there, basically I've digested it all. So the next day I'm gonna be lighter. Bushra says, yes, from fasting, lol. Exactly. But if I ate at 8 p.m., maybe the kids were late finishing their like trick-or-treating or their school homework, or there was parents' evening, or maybe you had to work late, or maybe you just had to go shopping and then something happened and you end up being late. So now you eat at 8, 9 o'clock, let's say. Okay, not ideal, but it means that the next day when you weigh at 7, there hasn't even been a 12-hour window of your body going through the process of digesting food. So your body will be holding that food in itself. And so you are just going to be heavier. It's just as simple as that. You're going to be heavier because you've got more food in your gut, okay?
So it's not fat.
It is not fat, it's food. You could just not eat at all and then you'd be really light, but I wouldn't recommend that. What is the ideal fasting window? 8 hours? There isn't one, Rebecca, because...
It's just an example.
Yeah, because it's not important. Some people say that a 24-hour, 48-hour fast is best. Like every couple of months, you do 24 to 48 hours. But this has to be really considered about why you're doing it. Is it for health? Is it to try and lose weight? Is it because, like Ramadan, for example, although it's not like a full-on fast, like a 24, 48 hours, they fast during the day. Then that's religious reasons. So it could be lots of different reasons, but for weight loss, I wouldn't recommend intermittent fasting at all. I've done it. I did it. Actually, I was the worst. I did keto and intermittent fasting at the same time. And I was eating 1,200 calories and I was doing cardio, like all at once. I remember I had like a little post-it note on my desk. It was like, do not talk to me till after 12 because this is my eating window. But the worst thing is, honestly, once you get over the hunger, the worst thing was when I would go into meetings at 10 o'clock, everyone would be staring at me because my stomach would be rumbling. That's so awkward. I'm like, I didn't want to be here anyway. Now everyone's staring at me because my stomach won't shut up. Like, that is uncomfortable, okay? So there's my hot take on fasting.
Just go to sleep and that's your fasting window.
Yeah. If you sleep for 12 hours, then your fasting window's 12 hours. Your fasting, window is 12 hours.
Some people it helps, but it's not a necessity.
I bet you lost weight, but we're starving and hungry all the time, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
So I hated it, yeah.
One? I've never had this one before. Eating is cheating.
I think it's come from like The Only Way is Essex or something like that, I think.
All right, where they just sniff cocaine and have no food. Sorry if you're from Essex.
That was a judgmental sweep, wasn't it?
It's from that program, isn't it? Anyway, it's Essex.
only way. I don't know if it's from there, but that's what I thought it was. But yeah, eating is cheating.
All the posh people.
Eating is survival, is the way I would label that.
People telling me I need to exercise to lose weight. So I guess that comes from people saying you have to exercise to lose weight. So when everyone wants to lose weight, what's the first thing they do?
Run.
They go for a run or they go do cardio. And yeah, like you might lose weight on scale that day. It's that thing of like, have you actually lost any fat? No, you've just lost water because you probably sweat because you have never run longer than running to like the cupcake. Yeah, running for the bus. This is the first time you run further than the bus stop. So now you're sweating and you've lost lots of weight. So yeah, it's just no.
So do you need to exercise to lose weight? No. And I try to drill this into my clients' heads that exercise is not a way to lose weight. It is not. Okay, I don't know how many different ways I could say it is not. It is not punishment for what you ate. It is not creating deficits so that you can eat more. The point of exercise is to train your body to build strength, to build fitness, and to look after yourself. It's a self-care exercise, not a weight loss exercise. Do people get better results when they exercise? I would argue not necessarily. Like we've got clients, we've got Anna, who else? Teresa. Neither of those two exercise. Who else of our clients don't exercise? We've got a few clients who don't exercise for whatever reason. Maybe they've got back problems. Maybe they've got
RA.
Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, we've had a couple of clients actually. For whatever reason, maybe they don't. Maybe they've got like an autoimmune disease. They don't exercise, but they still lose weight. And guess what? It's all about planning, nutrition, conquering your stress, and sleeping properly.
Nutrition is the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the mindset of what people think. Nutrition will always be the biggest thing for building a calorie deficit. And like they said, exercise is for like cardiovascular. You're improving your heart. So you're less likely to have like diseases in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You can, once we pass 30, 40, 50, our muscle loss starts to accelerate. So we're counteracting that by eating a higher protein diet, nutrition, and resistance training. They're the two biggest things we can do to counteract it.
Mm-hmm.
So it means you have a longer, longevity going into the future. Like if you fall over, you don't just suddenly break. You can just brush it off and walk on. They say some of the most deaths come from when we're older is people falling over, and then they never really, and then they like go to hospital, they get ill, and then they sort of die from that. So one of the biggest things is just muscle is one of the most important things we could have.
There is a saying, guys, if anyone can put it in the comments, that'd be helpful. It's something like broke a leg and died of pneumonia, or something like that. Something like that. I'm pretty sure the phrase is.
If you don't fall over because you're strong and you're fit.
And you've got good proprioception, which is a body space awareness, balance.
Yeah, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So as soon as people get to like 50, I don't know, people then just stop being active, but you actually probably need to be as active or more active. You don't have to be training as hard or lifting as heavier weights when we're younger, but we still need to be challenging our body at whatever level you're at.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing. Like few people have said it, it's like muscle is probably like the most important organ like in our body. It counts as like a tissue, doesn't it?
What's that, sorry?
Organ tissue, muscle.
Yeah.
I can't remember how she said it.
Skin is an organ.
Yeah. So like muscle is probably like is one of the most important for like longevity.
Yeah.
I think like the person we were listening to the podcast is like a geriatric nurse, and all of the patients there that had the most ill health all had really low muscle mass, or had really low training experience, or had really bad like diets.
Yeah. So the way that this doctor phrases it is that we don't have an obesity epidemic or an overweight problem or weight loss problem. I suppose we have a muscle gaining problem, because if you are heavier, shall we say, but you've got higher muscle mass, your health is still miles above someone who is the same weight or maybe even a little bit less, but has way less muscle mass, so the body fat percentage is higher. So we've got a couple of comments here I want to touch on. Worst advice for me: allow yourself a cheat day and eat whatever you want. Put me way off track every time. Yeah. So we stress that it's never a cheat, because that's the first thing. A lot of people say my relationship with food is bad, my relationship with exercise is bad, my relationship with myself is bad. Their relationships are shit in general. But the problem with the problem with most of these things is the language that they use to do things. So, for example, if you say I'm going to cheat meal, like that's something bad, isn't it? Like if you cheat at a game, or if you cheat at sport, or if you cheat on your partner, nothing good generally comes from any of those things, right? So using that word cheat is like cheating on yourself, which then you break trust with yourself. And then, like you say, whoever that is, you binge eat, you eat as much as you want, whatever you want, you let loose, and then you undo all the deficit that you've created. So the way that we coach our clients is very flexible. They can basically eat whatever they want as long as it fits within the calorie goal and they're hitting the protein. As time goes on, we do give them more advanced things, or if their scenario, their situation calls for it, then we will tweak other macros. But generally, we want people to be very flexible. If you want ice cream with the kids, like we had a client who did a photo shoot with us and was eating ice cream with her kid. When we do photo shoots, we still have like pizza. I remember one of them, our very first one, we had like donuts that morning of the of the shoot. So we have to have this flexible approach where everything is fine, nothing is off limits, unless obviously you've got an intolerance and health comes first. But generally, we don't like to use the word cheat. And the same with exercise. You don't have to exercise. Like you don't have to be loyal to your partner. You don't have to. Go and fuck someone else. Like if you want to, that's fine, but that's not going to get you to your goal of a happy, healthy relationship, right? So we need to start saying, instead of I have to go and exercise, it's like I get to go and exercise. Okay. Instead of like I have to be loyal to my partner, it's like I get to be loyal to someone who is also loyal to me, and we have this mutual respect. I get to nurture this relationship. So you choose the language. If you're like, ugh, gotta spend time with my partner, ugh, like that time you spend together is you're gonna hate it, you're gonna resent it, you're gonna resent them, you're not gonna want to do it in future. And so you build up this like tension. The same with yourself and exercise. So we've got to be really mindful about the language that we use with everything. Okay, I think using relationships are a really good example when we talk about like health and fitness. I think relationships are good because everyone's got some sort of relationship with someone, right? So I think it's important. True facts. Someone says, and Anna pointed this way. I don't know whether that was I lost a ton of weight without doing exercise, Anna, or Anna was like, this is the advice that I hear. I see this all the time at work. That is the falling over, breaking their leg and dying of whatever the thing was.
Pneumonia.
Yeah, it's not pneumonia, but I can't remember that bug. There's like 4 letters. Someone tell me, please, of that bug that people get in hospital. Muscle deterioration starts within 48 hours. Myth.
God, if that happened,
we'd be fucked.
You can't go on holiday. Yeah. You have to be constantly bring some weights with you everywhere you go. Yeah. No.
MRSA. Thank you, whoever that was. Yes. People break their leg and die of MRSA. That's it. So muscle deterioration. No. From what I remember, Cam, you can correct me if I'm right or wrong here, but I believe it's 3 to 4 weeks. It starts to decline. Strength starts to decline.
Yeah, I think if you have like complete
bed rest.
Yeah.
That is not still going for walks. That's still not doing bodyweight stuff. That's still like that is if you have a cast on your leg because you've broken your leg or your arm or wherever, and you can't use it. After 3 to 4 weeks, that's when muscle atrophy, which is breaking down of muscle loss, will start to happen. 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's like, I can't remember, but you're like, you lose speed, you lose strength. It's like 1 week you lose your speed, 2 weeks you start to lose your strength, 3 weeks, 3 coming into like 4 weeks, you can start to lose muscle. But again, that'd be like you doing nothing and adding no resistance to anything, which is like, that's why it's so hard to get, and you can't just suddenly lose it. But if you are on the age of like 50, it's already naturally accelerated over like annually, you start to lose like 2 to 3%. And then if you're chronically dieting, eating low protein and never resistance training, then it is literally full steam ahead. Let's get rid of this muscle, and let's just live an easy life for the body. Like you just exaggerate it essentially.
Okay, so hey Tammy's just turned up here. I use an exercise DVD. Is that okay?
If you enjoy it.
If you enjoy it.
I know.
Well, depends.
Depends what it is, what your goals, who you are.
Yeah, it depends. Because, like, for example, there's no point in putting you into a massive strength phase if you've got injuries, or if you can't leave the house, or if you fucking hate it. Like, that's pointless, right? But also, a lot of DVDs are like HIIT, a lot of like aerobic work and stuff like that, which might not be optimal. My voice didn't make that. Optimal. It might not be optimal for you, but in saying that, something is usually better than nothing. But if you're highly stressed, if you've got like a type A personality, if you're like boom, 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 then perhaps something more like yoga, Pilates might be a really, really good option compared to like another HIIT. What was that? Or like Insanity or Beachbody or something like that. Like maybe yoga would be a better thing for you. So as always, it depends. Someone says, I think it's Grace. So why are we continuing weight training up to the shoot? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you, Grace?
I don't understand the question, Grace.
I don't know where this has come from.
No, me.
If you want to lose your biceps, great. Then yeah, start weight training.
Yeah, if you want to lose your gains, that's fine. So when it comes to a shoot, we're not trying to build muscle. It isn't possible. At this point, it is impossible to build muscle when our clients are on such low calories because they've got a shoot. Generally, we don't like calories like this, but for a shoot, health is kind of like secondary, and the priority is aesthetics. If there's no muscle deterioration within 4 weeks, okay, so you will have a catabolic effect anyway because you're eating low calories. So the body will start to eat away at muscle because you haven't got the food to create energy. This is a very broad, very simple way of explaining it. Layman term, I guess. So if your body is starting to eat away muscle, you need to preserve as much muscle as possible. Now, it's not being preserved through food. You are eating protein, yes, but generally you can't build muscle. So we need to send the muscle building signal, which is strength training and protein, which are the two things that you are concentrating on, to preserve muscle instead of building it. Okay. So if you were just like, that's fine, I'll just not train for the next 4 weeks till the shoot. That's fine.
She just wants it easy.
You don't have to, but there's the other side of it. Although you won't necessarily lose, well, you probably would lose muscle if you're on such a deficit, but you will look untrained as well. That's the other thing. You still want to look
flat.
Yeah, you still want to look trained. You still want to, when you get to the shoot, be able to lift and get a pump. So the body needs to be in a position where it recognizes, okay, I need to push blood into here. So that's why we still train right up until the shoot. There you go. So you won't necessarily lose muscle if you do nothing, but it's not ideal if you're gonna look good.
For a shoot.
Yeah, or anything.
Yeah, like how many times do people say, I want to look toned.
But I don't want to build muscle.
Yeah, or something. Oh, I want to look toned and build muscle. I think I read earlier something like, what did I write? I can't remember. Let's have a look. See how long it's going to take. Oh, come on. What did I write?
No worries, Grace. I hope that helped. Guys, does anybody else, before we go, before Cam explains what we're doing, has anyone else got anything they think has been like a really shitty, what's the word, piece of advice?
So it wasn't even that good what I'd written, to be honest.
Go, bro.
Yeah, so a lot of people say I reached my goal weight, but I still don't look like I wanted to. Like, that's what we hear a lot. And that's because people are constantly banging their heads, just trying to, like Bush just says, eat less and move more, but they're not moving more in weight training, they're moving more in like cardio and lots of steps. So that, like, if you want to look like you lift, if you want to say it really simply, you need to be lifting. And if you're in a calorie deficit phase, that's one of like the most important things. Like, we can all lose weight quickly, but we do not want to lose muscle tissue.
No, we do not. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit there. Apologies. Eat less, move more. Eat less, move more. This is the simplest way I can break down why this is shit advice. There's only so much you can move and only so little you can eat. When your body adapts to these stimuli, what then? When you plateau, when you're eating 1,200 calories, 1,000 calories, 800 calories, and you're walking 12, 13, 14, 15,000 steps a day, plus 3 hours of running a day, what are you going to do then? Because your body will adapt. It's built to adapt to whatever signals we give it. You're fucked, basically. So that is not the best advice. I hate that advice. And Bushra probably said it because she knows it triggers me. She knows it fucking pisses me right up. Jenna says, bad advice. Have some ice cream and then exercise more. Yeah, again, this is the language and the relationship we have with food and exercise. It's like, I have something nice, so I have to punish myself, or I cheated, so I've been bad eating ice cream. Now I've got to punish myself through exercise, which then makes us have a negative relationship with exercise and also a negative relationship with ice cream, because now we're like, well, if I eat ice cream, I got to suffer. And there's this little triangle of like hate going on. And then, of course, in yourself, then it's like, well, I was bad. I'm a bad person. I don't deserve these results. I can never do it. I always fuck up. Like, there's all these negative mindset shifts into there as well. And then we start to believe those horrible things we're saying to ourselves. And then if we start to believe those, we will never get to where we want to be. It's just like if you had a partner and he said, I hate you, you're a piece of shit every day. Like, you don't deserve to be happy. You're fat and ugly and I hate you. No one will love you. Imagine saying that to your partner, but you've got no problem saying that to yourself. This is an issue, guys. This is a sidetrack issue.
It's a very good example.
Thank you, Fatty. I'm joking. I'm just kidding. Bless you. But it is very true. Like, if I was to look in the mirror and go, hey, Fatty, like to myself, like, it wouldn't, I'd be like, ha, ha, ha. But if I see what she said to Cam, I can't even say it properly without laughing at poor Cam. Not poor Cam, chubby Cam.
I just wanted to say one thing.
What's that?
We have top fans on our comments on our pages.
Yeah.
Guess who my top fan is? Bushra. Guess whose top fan Faye is? Not Bushra. So thank you, Bushra. Top fan.
Chenna's mine.
Only because you give her like 3 calories and pumpkin spice latte coffees.
But guys, that's the truth though, isn't it? We laugh, but it is. If I was like constantly calling you a piece of shit or calling you fat or you'll never succeed or you'll just fail, you always give up on yourself. I said if. Then obviously he'd be like, see, he'd start to believe, and this is why gaslighting and all that kind of, emotional abuse and stuff comes in. So when you say that to yourself, that is the impact you're having. So be careful with the language that you use.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy to gaslight yourself. I think that's an easy thing to say. Like what you've just said to yourself, say it to your kid, or say it to your partner.
Or worse, say it to your dog.
You
would never say it to your dog, would you?
See the reaction you get.
You don't deserve it, you piece of shit. To your dog, can you imagine?
Idiot, why did you eat that? You're so stupid. You know that's got like 2,000 calories.
Dog.
Idiot. Say that to someone. Say exactly what you say to yourself to other people and see what happens.
Sounds like the beginning of a new girly video, Cam.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. We've got a full-length mirror in this apartment. Maybe he can stand there with his, with his hair and everything and start abusing himself. I think good shout, Sam. All right, guys, we are going to hop into our business coaching. No, start again. Client coaching group.
Well, lots of calls today.
Yeah, we've been switched on for a couple of hours now. So we're going into our private Facebook group. If you're in there, guys, we'll send you the link in a sec. If you are just not a client, you should be, but if you're not, we will catch up with you guys soon, Monday. And if you need anything, let us know. Oh, also one more thing. We do have a podcast, and this episode will be popped up in as a podcast. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Share the love, guys. The podcast is called Hangry and Hormonal, and we've got like 82, over 80 episodes now in there, and this is going to add to the collection, so make sure you go in and check it out.
Peace, love, and protein shakes.
See you soon.
Thanks, Bushra.